Wednesday, June 28th. This is a Grand Trine.
Ooh,
It's a
this is only
full,
like the second time I've seen this. This was
yeah,
recent. We had one of these.
yeah. I thought I'd put this in. It's cool to look at
I
because
love
it
it.
helps you understand what a trine is. A trine
Hmm.
is a 120-degree angle. If you have three points that are all connecting at 120 degrees, they make a perfect triangle. And so this is happening between the sun, the giver of light, life, and vitality, in Cancer, the moon, the planet of emotions, in the fixed water sign of Scorpio, symbolized by the scorpion, and Saturn, the god of wealth and time, the planet of restriction, responsibility, hard work, achievement, and authority, in the mutable water sign, symbolized by the fish, Pisces. So this is a grand water trine because we have three planets all aligning with each other at 7 degrees, lucky 7 degrees in the three water signs. So
I mean, this
what is
is
happening here? This
a
is
super healing day, yeah?
very lots of healing and digging into the past. Again, healing because we're looking into the
Mm.
past. That's the sun in Cancer. We're looking at the deepest part of our emotions, which is that Scorpio energy. The moon in Scorpio, it's bringing emotional sensitivity to all the feelings that you're hiding from, or all the feelings that you're hiding from those that you're in relationship with, that you're bonded to, that you're intimate with. And then it's connecting that piece of Saturn in Pisces, the most compassionate sign. So the sign of nurturing, Cancer, the sign of passion, Scorpio, and the sign of compassion, Pisces. Saturn in Pisces is about committing to doing the work required to show yourself compassion, to delve into the unconscious, face your psychological baggage, the guilt, the shame, the regret, the blame, and show yourself compassion so you can integrate those thought patterns and memories with understanding, forgiveness, and love for yourself. So, what are you hiding from in your emotions? Where does that stem from your past? And how can you show yourself compassion for those feelings and empathy for anyone else involved?
We kind of touched on it yesterday, but like recognizing our past, why we are where we're at, um, and then relating that, I guess, to those deep emotional, like the karmic bonds of Scorpio and our emotions.
Mm.
Like, how do all these things play into where we're at? And when I think today would just be a good day to bring awareness, just bringing these ideas to the forefront of your mind. You don't have to do anything but think about them, and that will be healing in itself. Just recognizing our deep karmic bonds, recognizing how we got to where we're at, and then taking responsibility, like you said, for being compassionate about where we are in this moment.
Mm. Yeah.
I mean, it just sounds sometimes when you say it out loud, it sounds so easy. It's like, oh yeah, just recognizing how I got where I'm at. Like
Yeah.
it really just takes the awareness and setting aside a little time to think about these things with ourselves.
It's also being present in the moment of what's going on with your mind. Like I caught myself in the kitchen the other day, maybe it's 2 days ago, just making some food, and I recognized that I was being really shitty to myself
Mm.
in my thought process. And that's where I had to remind myself what I always tell everyone else, that I need to show myself compassion
Yeah.
for
What
this.
was Can I ask
And
what were you being shitty to yourself about?
well, I was thinking about a friend from childhood that I haven't spoken to in years, that I
Mhm.
was really close to. And it's not by like I've reached out to this person multiple times and now I've just given up,
Mhm.
and um so he moved away to, he lives halfway across the country. He's got his own life going on over there, but it makes me sad when I think about my relationship with him, and we were close when we were kids, but then I think
Mhm.
back and I was like, well, I was shitty to him in this moment, like in the 5th grade, or in high school, I
Mhm.
was this or whatever. And, I did this to him. That probably wasn't nice. And maybe there's some other things that maybe I was just an asshole in high school. Like, I don't know. Like, and maybe that's why he doesn't want to talk to me anymore. It's not that he's like completely out of touch. Like, he texted me and a couple other friends a few months ago to reach, because he was coming back to California to reconnect, but I wasn't going to be back where I'm from in Fresno area. So, but you know, I was just like, but not everybody wants to have a phone conversation,
Yeah.
and I'm probably overthinking things.
Mhm.
But why do I have these feelings about this person? Like,
Mhm.
what is, and I'm like, I have to talk to my therapist about this, because like, why am I holding on to like these feelings, like I did something wrong, or he doesn't like me, or but then I think about other people that have probably texted me but I haven't texted back or called or whatever, so it's exhausting.
You said, "Oh, I have to talk to my therapist about it." That seems like such a day for this alignment to be like, "Oh, I want to set aside time
Yeah.
to work on this thing that is coming up." I think that is
Well, I see my therapist the day before, so I'll see her
perfect.
on Tuesday. So this is Wednesdays.
It's just really hard, I think, when you were super close with somebody to just like, I mean, my friend Crystal, I was like so close with her. And now we have like almost no contact,
Mm-hmm.
maybe here and there a couple times a year, if that. And it's just like recognizing that we have seasons with people and maybe why we were in those relationships that maybe weren't serving us. Like it's just very attached. I'm not really good
Mm-hmm.
at like goodbyes or whatever, or like letting go of things, even like
Yeah.
like
No.
people and
Mm-mm.
jobs, and like I just get very attached.
Mm-hmm.
So I can
Yeah.
see why you have like wondered like what happened,
Totally. Oh
what
my
is happening,
God.
especially when it's ambiguous. There's not like an answer, like a
Yeah,
concrete
there
answer.
wasn't like a clear breakup or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just like they kind of just fade off into nothingness, and you're like, what
Wait, what
happened?
happens? Yeah.
Exactly. That's the joy of being a
Being alive.
Scorpio.
Oh.
And and for you it's like you're an eighth house Mars, which is that's the house that Mars rules, because it's associated with the eighth sign, which is Scorpio.
Oh.
So when your action oriented energy is to bond and to be intimate with people.
It
And
is.
that's,
It really
yeah,
is.
yeah.
I don't know if
Okay.
we've touched on that. Sometimes I forget like all my like the
Yes.
houses. I'm still working on that. So that
Yes, you're
feels
an eight. So even though it's like, well, your Pluto's in Scorpio, but you don't have any other planets in Scorpio, but your Mars is in the eighth house.
okay.
And Mars is the planetary ruler of the eighth house, because Mars is the planetary ruler of Scorpio, as is Pluto. And Scorpio is associated with the eighth house because it's the eighth sign. So your Mars is in the house that it rules. So like when you bond with somebody, you do like boom, like you're in there. It's very, very close, very intense. And there's like the separation of that is like traumatic.
Yeah, it really that I feel that. I feel
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.